Hey everybody, this is Sandy from Sandy's Creative Connection, and I'm here to show you tips and tricks on how to use your blends to make this beautiful bird card. The stamp set you'll need is called Best Birds. It is available in the new catalog coming out on page 108. If you don't have a catalog and a demonstrator, let me know, leave a comment. I'll be happy to mail a catalog to you. But this stamp set also comes with a set of framelits. So when you use your blends, how you pick out a stamp set to use is something, it's a linear stamp, and it is something with a lot of space so that you can apply color and shading, and the open area of the stamp really helps. And when the artist gives you areas for shading also is a good thing.
I'm using Mento ink, stamping up my bird. Now I'm going to cut him out, so I'm going to let him dry. And the colors I'm going to pull out. If I'm going to do the Eastern Bluebird, I need some grays. I need my Night and Navy blends. I need my Pumpkin Pie blends. I need a color lifter. There's this. I think that might be all for now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take, because I'm using some darker blues, never mind, I'm going to start light because you can always go darker, but you can't always go lighter. You can use the color lifter, but it's really not the same. Here's my color palette. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to flick. This is a term I get from Lisa Curcio. She, I learned a little bit from her. She's a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I learned how to flick from her. So I'm just going to go in. I'm using the brush side. And I'm just going to go in and where the artist has already given us ideas of where details should be, I'm going to get right under the wing. And then I'm going to come in with the light blue. I'm going to use a brush end again because I just want to get some blue color on him. Okay, don't worry about that blue outside the line. Number one, we're going to cut him out, and number two, you got a color lifter that you can always use. All right, so for right here, you know what? I'm going to try something just a little different. I'm going to put some yellow up here on his belly, and I'm going to use the brush. There we go. And then that's daffodil. That's the dark daffodil. And then I'm going to come over here, and I think I might use the brush side of pumpkin. Let's just see how some of this is going to come together. All right, now right along the edge, we have some skin tone colors. This is bronze. And I'm going to take that, just do a fine line. Now on these brush tips, the more you press, the more pressure you apply, the thicker the line, but also the more the alcohol comes out. So keep that in mind. I will go back. I'm going to do the light pumpkin again. I'm just going to go down that edge. Drag that bronze up. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's very pretty. Now let's say I didn't really like it. I'm going to take my color lifter and just kind of sweep across there. And what it's going to do is lift some of the color and get down into the white or the yellow that we placed below. So I'm going to go here, finish out his tail. Okay. Then I'm going to take the dark gray, finish his beak. And you know what? I think I really want more gray to show. So I'm going to go through here and put down some more gray. I'm flicking, if you notice. Then I'm going to use the light gray for his eyes. And just go over the top because I want his head to look really round. And so and let's try some dark just to see what it looks like, the night of navy. And maybe just color in some, not all of it, just kind of put some in there. Blend it one more time. Okay. I'm liking that. Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I will go and cut him out, so I'll be right back. Okay, so here he is all cut out. These are great framelits, by the way. You get the bird that cut him out, and you get a branch, which is the branch on the front of this card. That's a framelit. You get two other birds. Now these are not framelits, these are thinlits, so that will actually cut the bird out and give it some detail. And there's a little tiny bird, he's really cute, and some miscellaneous flowers that framelits that cut out these flowers here.
The next step in making this card is to ink up and stamp the branch that goes on the front. I chose to use the Stamparatus because I could stamp it a couple of times and ensure that I get a good solid dark image on the branch before coloring.
And it did a really good image, so I don't have to worry about it.
Next step is to color the branch. I'll zoom you in and we'll get started.
Now, trees are multiple colors. So on this one, I'm going to use some light gray. I'm going to use the bronze. And I'm going to use the other skin tone, the ivory. So I'm going to start out with the bronze. Oh, I also need greens for the leaves I'm going to do. All right, so on the branch itself, I'm just going to kind of flick through on these lines that the artist have given us. I'm going to flick some bronze and some gray. Then I'm going to take the nub end and start to blend. A little more dark. There. I'm going to pick up the dark gray. Just kind of imagine where I might see some dark. Now, the last thing you want to do is go over it and blend. One more time with the lightest color you got. Okay, so I'm liking that. Now we're going to go for the leaves. Leaves are done first in yellow. I know what you're thinking. Yellow? Really? too critical on getting every little spot covered. Then I'm going to take the dark Old Olive and just kind of draw some in on the veins of the leaves. Then I'm going to pick up the very lightest with the nub end because I want to blend, and start pulling that. Now another way you could do it would be to outline the leaf in the dark. So that would be another option. And again, I'm going to cut this out, so I'm not too worried about going out of the lines there. But if I were worried, then I would then pull out my color lifter, and I'll show you how I do that. You just take it, you run it over, and this is full of alcohol, so it's just pushing that right back into the, so it does a good job. And if you ever you have a really light color and you want to blend, if you just took and went really quick with the color lifter, but that's when you don't have a lighter color. So like if you're using two light colors to do something, like a light yellow and a light green, and you can't go any further lighter, then that's a real good choice to use the color lifter. And you know, you might not like the effect the first time, but keep trying because it does take a little bit of practice. To get it a smooth. Okay, so I'm going to go cut this out because see, this goes right over top of it. It does a real nice job. So let me go cut that out. I'll be right back. Okay, so there is the branch cut out. And we have our bird. So what else do you need for this card? This is the card. So we need a piece, we need a card base, a first layer, and then this layering behind there. So this is an 8.5 by 5.5 that's folded in half.
Use a bone folder to crease the edge and then adhere the first layer of designer series paper. I've taken a piece of Whisper White that's 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and I'm placing it in my Stamparatus. I have the words Thoughts for You, and I'm going to stamp the words in Memento ink. I'm using the Stamparatus because I can always restamp if it's not a good image the first time.
Nice the first time. Cool.
Here I'm taking a piece of basic black that's 4 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to glue the Whisper White words to the front. Now I will apply the leaf, the branch that I colored previously, and glue down my bird. And I use green Tombow glue for both pieces. Now let's take that panel and adhere to the front of the card using Tombow glue. Well, here are the finished cards, and stay tuned because I have more on blends in my next 2 videos.